We're going to take notes in our language arts or reading composition notebook today. So pick a notebook that you haven't used previously, and you're going to call it ELA. That stands for English Language Arts. And then write your name on the outside cover. That's a bad E I drew. There you go. A little bit better. We're going to go to the first page, and we're going to make that a title page. So we can do ELA again by Miss Bridges, and the title page usually has a picture on it of some sort. So since this is our English Language Arts notebook, I'm going to draw a little book. And you also write stories in language arts. You can draw whatever picture you want. That's just going to be mine. Miss Bridges isn't a very good artist. On the back of the title page is the copyright page. It's usually written at the bottom. So we're going to go down to the bottom and put copyright 2020 to 2021 because we're going to work on this all year. Then you give a publishing company. So you can make up your own. You can make it have to do with your name, have to do with your school. I'm going to use Macon Incorporated. Macon Incorporated. Inc. stands for Incorporated. So I'm using our school's name to just come up with a publication company just to be cute. All right. Then our next page is going to say Table of Contents at the very top. And we're going to go to the back of that table of contents page and write it again. Table of contents. We're going to go to the very next page and write it again. We want to give ourselves plenty of room to write in this all year. And one more time on the back of that page. Table of contents. So now you're going to go to your first table of contents page, which is right after your title page and your copyright on the back. And you're going to put your first entry in your language arts table of contents. That first entry is going to be Main Idea. Page 1. So the reason we do this table of contents is so when you want to go back and study various skills, you know what pages to reference. So we're going to skip all these table of contents pages that we did. This is the first blank page, and at the bottom or the top, wherever you so choose, you're going to write page 1. I like to put mine on the bottom there. You can put yours top, left, right, doesn't really matter. You need to find this set of journal notes somewhere in the stack that you were given. And you're going to glue it down onto journal page 1. And you might want to, don't glue it in the middle. Either glue it towards the bottom or glue it towards the top because we are going to also write some notes in here. So I chose to glue mine towards the top, and then we're going to write some things down here in just a minute. So this is a pictorial representation of something hopefully something that will help you remember what a main idea is. So this is a stool, and the stool is supported or held up by its legs, right? So if I take off one of these legs, this stool is going to collapse. Very similar to main idea and supporting details. Main idea is what the story or the text is mostly about, what the author mostly wants you to get out of that text. And the supporting details are the key details or the key ideas or thoughts that hold up or support that main idea. All right, so underneath your picture that you just glued down, you're going to give a definition of main idea. So main idea, yeah, y'all can see that, is what an author wants you to understand the most. Okay, he wants you to understand a lot of things, but he wants you to understand the main idea the most. Now, let's talk about ways you can find the main idea in a piece of literature that you're reading, or just an article that you're reading, anything that you're reading. So there's a couple of different ways you can find the main idea. So let's say to find main idea, you can, 1, look at the title. Now, this doesn't always work, but a lot of times it does. The title, need to scroll up, some of y'all aren't able to see that. Okay, so the title is usually what the story or the text is mostly about. So that is one way that you can find the main idea, is to look at the title. You can also, this is not cooperating tonight, you can also look at the pictures. You can read the first and last sentence. First and last sentence. A lot of times the first and last sentence are your opening sentence and your closing sentence, and the author will repeat what the main idea is in those sentences. So those are some ways on how you can find the main idea. Remember, these supporting details are going to hold up that main idea. So whatever the topic is, whatever the main idea is, they're usually going to repeat it a lot of times throughout that piece of text. Now, that's just if it is a stated main idea. They're going to say it over and over and over again in the text. Sometimes the author doesn't come right out and say what the main idea is. It's an unstated main idea. You can still use these 3 things, look at the title, look at the pictures, and read the first and last sentence, but sometimes it's just not, the author doesn't come right out and say it, and so you'll have to infer it. When they keep talking about the same thing over and over again, you're like, oh, he wants me to understand this, or she wants me to understand this, depending on who the author is. Make sure you have all that in your notes, and then you're going to complete the page that says mutualism in nature and energy resources, and that is in the packet of work that you were given, and it looks like this. So unfortunately the picture didn't copy well, but on mutualism in nature, you have where you're going to find the stated main idea and list the supporting details. And on the back, you're going to read energy resources, and you're going to find an unstated main idea. So this is going to be a little bit harder because he doesn't come right out and say it, and you have to infer what he is talking about, or what she is talking about, what the author wants you to understand. That's going to be the unstated main idea, and you'll have some key details. So I want you to do this on your own. When you're finished with it, there will be another video that goes over the stated and unstated main ideas and the answers to this, but I want you to try it on your own first. If you have any questions, please email me.